Welcome. Welcome. Woo! Welcome to Lady Rose Queendom. Gather round, tell a friend. Everybody sing. Welcome to Lady Rose Queendom, where we nurture, cultivate, and awaken your inner queen. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. Welcome to Lady Rose Queendom. Lady Rose Queendom. Well, Lady Rose Queendom. Lady Rose Queendom. Come on, Lady Rose Queendom. Lady Rose Queendom. Lady Rose. Lady Rose. Lady Rose. Your crown is waiting.
Hello. Oh, I am so sorry that I am late. I did not finish my notes in time, and I just finished, but we're going to get into the mess. We are going to get into it. I am late with this Real Housewives of Atlanta's reunion. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17, episode number 16. The title of this episode is called Halloween Hot Pocket. Let me get some pleasantries out of the way. Welcome to Lady Rose Queendom, where we nurture, cultivate, and awaken your inner queen. Remember, this is my disclaimer. All things are alleged. They're in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes only. Please show that support. I appreciate it. Please comment. Get in the comment section. Let's have a healthy dialogue. Share this live with someone else that may want to see it. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, I am looking for subscribers. I'm trying to hit my 1,000 mark. And please tap that notification bell so that you will know every time that I am live. Let's get into it. Fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use. Section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Oh my goodness. We are down here again, like I said, to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Season 17, episode number 16, Halloween Hot Pocket. It was a good episode. It had some fluff in it. Had a lot of fluff in it. In fact, the last part with the horse was pretty much just not even worth watching. But we're going to talk about it. The episode opens with the ladies back in Atlanta. Remember, they were in Scotland, and they're now back in their own home city. Shamia is headed to see her attorney. His name is Maximilian Booker. She goes in wearing a long black leather trench coat. I love the coat. She took it off. She had on a brown cat suit underneath it. I think it was beautiful. It went beautiful with her skin, the hat. Good afternoon, Symmetry. Excuse me. The outfit actually accentuated her body very well. She looked very nice. Maximilian asked her how she was doing, and she tells him that she was actually sleep deprived. Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. Jet lag from Scotland. Scotland is a pretty good travel from Atlanta. He then asked her how was her trip, and she said really she didn't get to enjoy the trip. She said she was talking to her husband about it, and Gerald said he's going to have to take her back so that she can enjoy Scotland, so she can enjoy the things of Scotland. In her confessional, Shamia says that when it comes to Scotland, she does not have time for none of the haggis, none of the bull. Can we move past that and not even talk about it? Because they asked her, how is Scotland? Yeah, I'm doing vertical, y'all, so it's gonna be some weird stuff popping up in there. Who is you, lady? I am her. I am her, Lady Ro. Hey, good evening, living for me. Hey, Sim S. Is it Simi LS? Simi SLS. I don't know why I keep saying that. How are you? Welcome to the live. So Shamia, of course, she didn't want to talk about Scotland in production as far as what happened with Portia. I think she's pretty much over it, just like we are. She said she wants to move past it and not even talk about it. She just wants to focus on launching her rum. Well, happy birthday to you, Starry. Happy birthday, honey. This is for adults only. If you're a child, just log on off. Um, Maximilian reminds her that she has a party coming up. And Shamia tells Maximilian that they agreed with everything. And he said, yes, up until this morning, initially, they were going into a partnership and they were going to have, she was going to have equal, she was going to have some uh, stakes in the U.S. operations of the liquor company or the wine company that she was going to go in business with. But the contract that was submitted that morning, they were just going to offer Shamia an opportunity to purchase wine at a wholesale level or at a wholesale price. Shamia seems confused, and Maximilian said that the company's lawyer assured him that they were working through to get everyone on board, and they had to get everyone to sign it. Shaman, in a confessional, said that right now the Nichols families has had a contract with Clark's Court, and they've been around since 1937. It's a black-owned company. Afaya said she was speaking with her dad, Mr. Nichols, and he told her that this is his baby. And you've had something for that many years, you're not so apt to kind of, just part ways or even to let someone else get involved with it. Shamir says she feels like she's wasted her time and her resources. And she says she is able to see it from both sides. She said, but the ball is in their court and she's just waiting for them to decide. Shamir tells her attorney that this is unfortunate because half of the ladies have gotten their bum moles done already. So she sent out with an invitation to come to her Halloween party. She had a lady going around doing the moles of all of the ladies' bottoms, right? To I don't know exactly what they were gonna do with it besides they had a little contest at the end of the episode. Happy birthday, it started. My middle son's birthday is today as well. He joined the Dirty 30 Club. Well, happy birthday to him living for me. Happy birthday to your son. Good afternoon, Deborah. Good afternoon. Deborah, I was intended to tell you, I put it up under your thing, but I want to tell you publicly because I said it publicly, that when I look back at the real estate records, it looks like you were right. The house was purchased in 2022. I do see that it was listed for sale again in 2025, but then the listing was removed. So I'm not sure what was going on with that. But you were right about the house being purchased in 2022. So you were right. They show Drew and Kelly getting their moles done, and Shamia said this is going to be Gerald telling her that he told her so. And Shamia said it keeps her up at night thinking that she could possibly fail, but she knows that she can do it. She has to figure out a new way because she has over six figures invested in this, and she told her attorney, go figure it out. And I hope they do. Thank you for accepting my apology because I don't want to give out misinformation. Next scene, we see K. Michelle and Caston. They meet up to do yoga with Charles and Angela. Caston tells the yoga instructors that I'm just going to shake your hand. He said, because I don't want to get beat up. And the instructors tell them that it's going to be a delicious time. Don't worry. And K. Michelle tells them not if they see her toes. There, she say her toes are ugly. I don't care to look at people's feet. If they ugly, they just ugly, girl. Let's move on. Angela and Charles enter the room, and Angela in her confessional says that the assholes are back together. And they play a clip of K. Michelle calling Charles an asshole, and then she says, I relate to assholes. So that's where that comes from. K. Michelle tells us in her confessional that she and Angela make a point to check on each other. Does Shamia know that? You might have let her know because she may not want you being friends with Angela. Anyway, Kay says she knows Angela outside of the drama. And she likes Angela because one thing Angela's going to do, she's going to bring it to the table. They do the yoga exercises. Charles, baby, he was doing what he wanted to do. He tells Angela, put them 12s up here. I thought that was hilarious when he said that. Um, Angela asked Kay if she had heard from Shamia since they got back from Scotland. And Kay Michelle said no. Angela said that Shamia knows how to set the tone as to where she is looked at as a victim, and she is as a victim, and she's a professional victim. I totally agree with that. I think Shamia sometimes does play victim, and maybe she doesn't do it intentionally, but it looks as though she's playing victim because she'll go in the confessional and try to start crying. So yeah, I just think that's it. She then tells Kay, I know that is your friend, but let her live in that, okay? Let her dwell in whatever confusion that she likes to be in. And Kay responds with, yes, that's my friend, but I'm also fair. And Shamia in her, I'm sorry, I said Shamia. Kay Michelle in her confessional tells us that after Scotland, that she and Shamia disconnected. And this was someone that she spoke with every day. And Charles just speaks up and says, don't get caught in that crossfire. Don't get caught in that, girl. If you smart, just stay away from it. Deborah, you know what? I agree with you. I'm over Shamia and her tears as well. And I don't know if anything that she's done can be repaired if she comes back. I'm not sure if Shamia can get this train back on the road if she returns next season, which I hope she does, but I don't know because they said some of the ladies have already gotten their pickup letters. Kay said it's only right to have a face-to-face conversation with Shamia because she does care about that friendship. And then Kay Michelle says, once again, that Shamia feels left out and she feels bullied. And Angela says, okay. And Kay then said, she feels hurt. And Angela responds with, but she's the one hurting people. The weapon is in her hand. And Angela says, until she figures out that part, Shamia will be the victim in her own mind forever. Next scene, we see Portia at her house, and she's telling Lauren that she's going to take down all the pictures of her and Simon and put up pictures of her and PJ. They're going to replace those photos downstairs with pictures of her and PJ. So we see a photographer, and he has everything set up. And we see Portia and PJ in red. They look really, really cute. Portia asked PJ, she said, how do I look? And PJ says, hold your belly in, honey. And Portia tells Pilar, she tells us that Pilar has been her whole world. And she says, as a wife, she did lose a little bit of Portia, and she just wants to get back to who she is. Portia then tells us that selling the Duluth home and changing the pictures out in the home she's currently living in and doing some self-healing, she thinks she's headed down a good path. And I kind of agree with that. We then see Portia and Lauren. They sit on the sofa after the photos are taken. And Lauren asked Portia if she had had any rest since coming home from her trip. And Portia said she had just shut down when she got back. She's like, girl, I just shut down. She then says that Mike has been really busy, so she's been swaying. So she's been hanging out with Sway. She said that Mike does FaceTime, and they do have a good chemistry. And Lauren says, so you're still undecided? And Portia says, yeah. Portia said she really don't want a baby. So if a baby is a breaking point for Mike, or if it is a deal breaker, then she's gonna have to let Mike go on about his business because she don't want another child. Portia said they're still at an exploring stage. So they have a double date set up with Kay Michelle and her husband. Lauren asked Portia if she had seen anyone since the trip from Scotland. And Portia said no, but a lot went down. So it'll be weird and awkward to see others. And Portia then tells Lauren that Shamia texted her and asked her to do a butt mold for her party. Lauren asked Portia, she said, what? She said, did she say, are you going to go? And Portia was like, girl, go where? I thought that was hilarious. Girl, go where? Next, we're at the studio. We see Peaky's daughter, the Ella. She's adding a verse to a single, and it's called "It's My Birthday." Then we see Angela and Charles are having a photo shoot for Angela's fans. I was intending to see if Angela's fans have made it to production, or is she selling them, or what. Anyway, Angela said her fans should be arriving soon, and Charles says, "Get it done." You know, he's like the most driest human out there. Angela said they did send over a small shipment and she gave them half of the deposit up front, but she needed Charles to pay the remainder. And Charles turned around in his CD said, "Let me turn to the next person." That I know that's right. Let me turn to the next person. We then see K Michelle getting out of I'm sorry. We then see Phaedra and Aiden. They were I guess Aiden was going somewhere because he had on a suit, and she was Phaedra was fixing his suit. And Aiden said, "My car smells like cinnamon." And Phaedra says, "Why? That's a cooking scent." And Aiden said, "Yeah, I want to be edible." Phaedra said, "Child." I thought that was too cute. I love it when I see Phaedra with her kids, because I can remember her being pregnant with Aiden, and now to see him being a big boy, I just love that. A young man, rather. Live for me said yes, because no, Shamia, that was definitely too soon, work associate or not. Um, Simmy's back. Well, welcome back, Simmy. I didn't know you was gone. Welcome back in. Deborah Randall said, she said on an interview, the fans are ready to go. Go where? I'm confused. Deborah, who are we talking about? Are we talking about Angela and Charles, Phaedra, Aiden? Who are we talking about? Because I'm over talking and not really paying attention. So let me know in the comment section so we can revisit it. We did see K Michelle getting out of a black car at a restaurant called Apartment 4B, and we see Shamia enter the restaurant as well. She greets K Michelle. They talk about K Michelle's new song, and if you watched yesterday talk show, I forgot what the show was, but K Michelle actually sung her song. It's called "Jesus and Whiskey." It's a pretty decent country song. I enjoy it. I like K Michelle's voice. I think she has a beautiful voice. So if you have an opportunity, look up K Michelle's song "Jesus and Whiskey." Um, Shamia says the K song is a winner winner. Shamia said after Scotland, she was ready to go home. And Kay asked her if she felt like it was a lot of bonding or separating that was done in Scotland. Let me see what Deborah was talking about. Deborah said Angela was on an interview and she was asked about the fans. She said they are ready for sale. Okay, good. I want to see what they look like, if they're worth purchasing. I might buy one. I have a ton of fans, but I could always add another one to the bunch. Where we at? K Michelle was talking to Shamia about bonding. Did she feel like there was a lot of bonding in Scotland, or if there was a lot of separating done? And Shamia said it was a lot of like fighting for my life in Scotland. Kay says she feels like it takes real friends to say to friends things when you don't want to see them self-destruct. Kay in her confessional says she sees Shamia with this F the world type of attitude. She said that the fun-loving Shamia, she don't see her anymore. And Kay said what she wants most for Shamia is for her to smile again. And Shamia has other people who really, really love her. But Shamia has other people who really, really love her. But I really think Kay, I really feel like Shamia is stuck in her own head or whatever she got going on up there. And I feel like also Shamia feels like the world is against her at this point. Deborah said, I saw her on Kelly and Michael singing her song. Her voice reminds me of Dolly Parton. Does it? She does have a beautiful voice. But, when she sings R&B, she sounds angelic. But she did kind of sound like Dolly yesterday. I agree with that one. She did on that song. Then I think about it. She did sound like Dolly. Kay said she don't want to see Shamia's failed friendship become who she is. And back at the table, Kay Michelle tells Shamia, when it comes to Portia in Scotland, she said, you came out of nowhere. I want y'all to hear that again. She tells Shamia, girl, you came out of nowhere with that bull swanky panky. You just did. She said, and you really went low. She said, you came really low, really fast, is what K. Michelle tells Shamia. We're at a dinner table and you bring up this lady's child. Shamia said, should I have posted it to social media? This time I know Shamia listens only to respond and not to really comprehend what other people are saying. Kay said, you said this woman's child. And Shamia interrupted her and said, did I bring her up in a negative way? Again, only listening to respond. Over talking people because you want to make sure that you get out what you got to say instead of letting Kay Michelle finish a complete thought and then you come with yours. Kay continues to talk and she said, you basically said that the father has been sneaking the child to you and your husband. And Shamia says, no, child, yes. The way Kay broke it down is exactly the way I see it. You literally told Cynthia, we maintain a relationship with Dennis so that we can see Pilar. You said that. I believe it. I don't believe Cynthia is lying on you. One thing Cynthia is not known for is lying. K. Michelle, can you imagine how mad you would be? Friend, what made you bring all that up? Tell me what made you do that. Shamia then resorts back to the text message that Portia made. She's sticking with this text message, baby. She's not detouring from the text message. She really thinks this text message is the holy grail, and this holds all the answers. And we're gonna go back to this text message, regardless of whatever you say. The text message that Portia made. She says that my mom bought her mom's daycare, and that is not something a friend would do. Basically, making it like my mom is a shady person. Okay. But Portia didn't tell how they got to that point because they were not friends years prior to that. But why did we need to know how they got to the point? Your mom bought her mom's daycare. Some are saying hurrah. Some are saying tough titty. She lost her daycare, whatever that looks like. What is your point, Shamia? That none of that needed to be known by any of us. Symmetry, you're right. It was calculated. Shamia can't take any criticism no matter what she's done. Deborah, when I tell you, when you fail to take correction or criticism, you are on a slippery slip to bull swanky panky. For sure. You got to be able to take corrective criticism when you are wrong. And I believe that's where she falls short. No one in Scotland was talking about S16. Exactly. Nobody was. And especially not the mamas. You mad at Portia, so why did you revolt to her mama? That's weird to me. She said, but she's Portia and Shamia. Shamia said Portia and I agreed years ago that we would not let our parents' friendship affect ours. And she said, I feel like if you're going to put it out there, put it all out there. Why does all of it need to be put out there? Because your moms aren't involved in whatever y'all got going on. Shamia, you actually, regardless of what anyone said, because I want y'all to think back, they want to say that it was because Miss Diane said to watch the dog that carries the bone. But if we go back to next season, why did that dog automatically become Shamia? Because it wasn't just Shamia that was carrying bones last year against Portia when this conversation came out. Drew came at the box, I think episode 1, saying that Portia had took that woman's husband and she wanted to know why. Then you had her and Shamia going back and forth. So why does Shamia automatically think that the dog bringing a bone had anything to do with her? Right? Now, I've told you, my mother used to say that all the time. Watch that dog to bring a bone. Watch that dog to bring a bone. My girl was like, girl, what you talking about? And she said, a dog that bring a bone will carry a bone. So you watch that. You watch who you talk to, because everybody, got a mouth, they're going to run it. Shamia then in her confessional says she feels like everyone is picking up just at the dinner, but it started last year. Shamia said she felt sadness because she felt like it was the ending of a friendship. People don't understand because that shit was like a divorce because Portia was her person. This is a married woman boohoo crying because of a friendship that ended because she said that was her person. What is your husband if that was your person? What's your husband, girl? He just a random person from around the way, girl. She said, now I'm having to go to therapy just to navigate this group. It's a lot. This she said in the confessional. Back to the table, K. Michelle tells Shamia, you can't meet wrong with wrong. Shamia said, when she don't meet wrong with wrong, she's still effed up. She said she's damned if she do, and she's damned if she don't. K. Michelle said, I'm saying both of you. I mean, both of you. K. Michelle's trying to talk, but Shamia's not listening to anything other than whatever she got in her head. Shamia said, I let her get the last lick. And they show Portia saying, and your mom slept with your dad's brother. They show that, right? And then Shamia says, I'm done. I'm done. She got it. Shamia then tells Kay that she sent Portia an invite to her Halloween party. And she shares with Kay the text that Portia sent in response. Child. Kay said, what did she say? Shamia responded with, girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick as F. Please move along. Enjoy. Kay said that friendship is to hell, honey. And then Shamia said at this point she's good. She's fine. Kay then tells Shamia that she ain't coming to the Halloween party because God said she couldn't come. Kay said she is a Christian Methodist Episcopal. I don't know where church that is, but yeah, that's what Kay Michelle said. You said that's the best text ever. Exactly. Girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick. She should have put you are sick MF, but she did. You are sick as F. Please move along. Enjoy. She at least was kind at the end. He said, that's what my earlier comment was about. I typed it too soon. Let me go back up. What did you say? Yes, because no, Shamir, that was definitely too soon. Work associate or not. Too soon, it probably should have never came out. I'm just gonna be honest. Portia said she's coming out with cards. I cannot. Shady cards. I bet they'll be good. Next, we see K. Michelle singing in the mirror, and then Drew is sitting at a stage play rehearsal. During the rehearsal, they pan the camera to Drew's laptop, and she's reading her script with Pooch Hall, Drew's former co-host from the game. Y'all remember the game? Drew introduces Pooch to us and says they're working on a stage play called Whispers, and she's excited. She tells us about Derwin and Drew Sidora, and she said they haven't worked together in 2 decades, which is 20 years. Drew tells us that she is just keeping her head up because Ralph is fighting her for primary custody. We know that Ralph apparently won primary custody. I don't know if I think it's temporary primary custody, primarily because Drew was not getting the kids to school on time. Drew tells us that she has another movie coming out, and it's going to be with Robert Richard. It's coming out in December. And Drew says she's trying to win these Oscars, and her friends said, no, baby, we trying to get you an EGOT. And I thought that was cute that she had some friends there that were hyping her up. I noticed that Miss Kelly said that she came on the show and she set the standard. We don't ever want. I didn't know who Kelly was before Real Housewives of Atlanta, but we're not gonna try to act like Drew was a nobody. Drew Sidora played on the game when she was super young. I think the game has been off of syndication at least 20 years. Drew's about 43, I believe, 43 or 44, somewhere in there, or 42. So that means she was super young when she did the game. And Drew didn't play some off the wall name. She played herself, Drew Sidora. She played her own self. So yeah, no, we're not gonna act like, you know, Drew is nobody. Next, we see Portia, Miss Diane, and PJ entering. They're walking up the stairway to a house, right? And Diane's leading the way. And she opens up the door, and I hear as she's walking in, she says, "I can finally get to see the inside of this house. Hey, Lady B." And she walks in, and somebody comes from around the stair, and Miss Diane screams, and they yell out, "Welcome home." Diane asked Portia if she was the pending contract, and Portia said yes. Portia said her first marriage, when she was kicked out, she had to go stay back with her mother. Portia said this go around, she was able to close on her mother's home and then close on her mother's new home on the same morning. The house in Duluth still had a mortgage. She sold that house, took the $1 million worth of equity, and bought a house for her mother. And this time, there's no mortgage. Portia tells her mom, she said it's 100% paid for in cash. And Diane responds with, "Rich bitch, rich bitch." Portia says it was truly rewarding to give my mom a house. She said, "When it comes to my mom and PJ, you can say whatever you want to say about me, but I draw the line when it comes to them because they are my hearts." Portia tells her mother that the people will be coming tomorrow to move you in. And she said, "I've never been moved like this before." Dennis is there. He thanks Portia for inviting him. I don't know why Dennis looked like a vagabond, a hobo, I don't know, homosexual. I don't know what Dennis was doing with his life, but Dennis, you got to clean that up. You're going to have to come back out here with them Adidas jogging suits because, baby, this right here you got going on with this turban on your head and this slug down in your mouth. You got to do better than that, Dennis. Dennis said that Diane is like his mother, too. And he, again, thanked Portia for inviting him. He said no one had heard of Kelly before the show. Stand on my mind. Child, that's what I said. What standard? You sure didn't bring us fashion, baby, because the fashions, and even when it comes down to stylists, let's go back to Real Housewives of Atlanta season 1, baby. When I tell you Deshaun Snow came in there with a stylist and a house manager, girl, if this broke heifer don't go sit down. You ain't showed us nothing but bills and a t-shirt. Bye-bye. Get on out of the way, Kelly. You said Brown Girls Rock says, "Hey, y'all, out school shopping." Okay, you be careful. Don't spend too much money now. I ordered my grandkids' uniforms, baby. Ordered all this stuff online. It's sitting downstairs on my sofa right now. I'm going to go take it to them after a while. Granny done helped out for the year. Symmetry says, does he have low iron? He's always dressed for the winter. But I think they actually film in the winter, right? I don't know. But he looked like he was cold. He sure looked like he was cold. Poor Dennis, he looked a hot mess. But Dennis been looking pretty messy this season. Next scene, it's time for the rum bum Halloween party. Shamia said she wants rum bum to make it smart. And this will be her apology for making the ladies feel uncomfortable. They show the cake, which is made like a BBL bottle. She thought it was a bottle, but it was actually the cake. What did Deborah say? You said, "What is the weather like in Atlanta? I thought it's always warm. Dennis is always bundled up like he's still in Detroit." In the winters in Atlanta, it can get pretty cold. It can get pretty cold in Atlanta. I went one year to watch the peach drop, and baby, I was freezing the whole time. And I was dressed, I thought warm, child. I didn't have on enough clothes. I should have put on 2 pair of leggings, some long johns, and I don't know what else. Hoodies, hats, everything. Because it was cold. Symmetry said he tacky, definitely tacky. So they show the cake, like I said, which is made like a BBL, made into a bottle. And we see Afia. She is dressed like Ghostbusters. And Shamir asked her, "What happened with the paperwork?" And Afia says 2 weeks. And they're going to keep the partnership. They're just going to be separating everything. So I think what they're trying to do is separate their foreign entity from the U.S. entity, which is probably the best thing. If you're going to have someone stepping in on the U.S. side, you don't want them to be getting your profit from the other side. Deborah says that was the worst looking cake I've ever seen. It didn't look appetizing to me at all. It was horrible looking. I saw nothing about it that looked good. It don't even look like a decent bottle. I don't know what that was. And maybe is that how the bottle's gonna look? Ugh. Look like I ain't gonna say what I say. No. Don't say it later, bro. Don't say it. Because that bottle, it didn't look like a bottle. It looked like something else. But we're gonna move on. Afia said he had a whole bunch of stuff in one contract, and Shamia said she is going to stay the course with it. And they take a shot of the rum bum, and Gerald says it was good. Shamia said that she can't force Gerald to like rum bum, but she's laying down every night with Gerald Milwaukee. Honey, that was the dumbest mess I ever heard. I hope you laying down every night with your husband and not laying with some random that you see on the street, girl. What are you talking about? Hey, Queen Script. I thought that was. Did anybody else find that weird that she would say I lay down with Gerald Milwaukee every night? That just seemed like it just popped out of nowhere. Didn't Shamia say on Watch What's Happening Live the rum business failed? I thought that's what she said, but they still trying to push it on this show. But maybe they're trying to get Afia on the show. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. We see Cynthia arrive in a glue costume, and she said she is the glue to try and put the ladies back together, one lace front at a time. I thought that was kind of funny. You said weird as F. Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't just me thought it was weird. Why in the world would you say you sleep next to your husband every night? It just seemed like it just came out of nowhere, unless they spliced it up. This is why I say, and I got kind of shooken up the other day because I said the Shamia is crass. I still say she's crass. She's crass to me. I think she says things very inappropriately. And the other ladies, they say sexual innuendos as well, but they don't just come out and are always inappropriate. I can still see Shamia sitting up saying rum bum and then putting her hand over her mouth as though she had said something fabulous. Girl, what? Anyway, moving right along. Let me move right there. Cynthia arrives with the glue costume. She says she's the glue to try to put the ladies back together, one lace front at a time. Pinky and her husband, they arrive. They're zombies. Pinky's dress is halfway zipped up in the back. I guess she couldn't get it past those rolls on the back of her back. Child, I can't talk about nobody's back rolls because I got my own. So her dress is not zipped all the way up. We see she said her and her husband's costumes are given what this friend group has been given since she's been around. And she said that is DEAD, honey. I totally agree. Pinky asked Shamia and Cynthia if they had talked to the girls, and Cynthia said she hasn't talked to anyone since Scotland. And Shamia said that she sent everyone an invitation, and everyone said they were coming except for the big old fuck you one, which I thought was kind of crazy. Deborah Randall says she's always making sexual comments about Gerald. No one other than she wants him. I definitely, yeah, she is crass. She is crass. And I've said that, but Chad, I told you I got all chewed up in the comment section the other day. They said, what about Portia? She be making sexual innuendos, but being crass has very little to do with sexual innuendos. Most people need, I guess, to read what crass means. It means rude, ignorant. It means a lot of things. And I think people need to read what the definition of it is. And I think once they read the definition, they'll realize that she probably is crass. Over at the bowling hall, we see Kay Michelle casting Portia and Mike bowling. Portia tells Kay that she has to take PJ trick-or-treating later on that night. And Kay asked Portia, you're not going to the little party? And Portia said, Jesus said no. Kay asked Portia, why did you send Shamia that text message? And Portia said, what text? And Kay Michelle said, like a nice lady, she invited you. And Portia said, she showed you my text again? She's an habitual text shower. What the hell is wrong with this girl? Portia said, by the time you talk about Diane, Pilar, my child's father, and my ex, then me, What do you expect? Kay said, just don't bring the old Portia back because they have that in common. And Kay said, you know, former crash outs. And Portia said, girl, it's World War III. Kay said she's there to ask Mike, you know, how he's treating her friend. And Mike kisses Portia. Child, we're gonna talk about that invitation that Shamia sent too. I put, if Mike only knew, honey, if he only knew. Mike then says that he's in love with Portia, and Caston says, "Oh shit." Portia says, "How are you not going to tell me?" And Caston said, "His name's on the bowling game says her soulmate," and they pan up to the screen for the bowling alley, and Portia said, "She said I've definitely met my mate. She said I've definitely met my match. She said I'm usually the one moving fast." She said she likes him, but love. Mike asked Portia, um, you know, where did she see that they were going, or where does she think they were headed? And Mike and you know, she tells Mike, you know, I guess I like you. We'll talk about it later. And then Mike and Caston get up to go bowl. Portia talks to Kay, and she tells her, you know, that she's really into Sway. You know, she hadn't really decided who she wanted to be with. We go back to the Halloween party, and the ladies are testing the rum and the flavors, and we see Phaedra walk up, baby, looking like the Godfather. Kelly appears in her Superwoman costume with Jarvis in tow with some type of Jenna Neutron. I don't know what kind of costume it was he had on. And he had on a helmet that completely covered his face, and the lights, the eyes lit up. He looked the hot mess. Anyway, Phaedra says she's glad she saw Jarvis, and she knows he's a real guy and quite attractive. But he isn't sure. She isn't sure if he's hiding from the creditors or the ex-husband. Pinky said, "What's under that mask?" And Pinky said, "Is this the married man?" And they pan over to Portia saying that Kelly sleeps with married men. A miss. Kelly said he isn't hiding his face, that she is, and she's hiding it because of her other situation. Then Shamir introduces the ladies to Ashley. She tells them Ashley is George's wife. Something about me has a feeling that Ashley is actually trying to get on the show. I don't know. Y'all can tell me what y'all feel, but I kind of feel like Ashley and George, maybe somebody we're going to see in the future. I'll put it that way. She tells them that Ashley is George's wife. Then George all of a sudden appears in a green suit with question marks all over it and a green beard. We then see Drew arrive. She has on a cowgirl costume. Caston and Kay Michelle arrive. Kay in her confessional said that Caston told her to come on, let's go support Shamia. And Kay Michelle said, "This is some rich devil shit." Kay says she's going to support her, trying to be the breadwinner of a house that is already paid for. Shamia thanks the ladies for coming to a rum bum launch, and then she apologizes again for Scotland. Drew says Shamia's apologies don't really land. She then says Shamia needs to take responsibility and apologize to Portia, and that is who it should be directed to. They go sit down, and Phaedra asked Shamia if she had a conversation with Portia since they last talked. Shamia said no, that she sent everyone the same invite, and Portia responded with what she said, the fuck off kind of vibe. So this is the invitation that Shamia said she sent to everyone, although this invitation says hi Portia. It don't say hi everyone. It says hi Portia. In preparation for my Halloween party on Friday, I love to send you my bum casting lady to your home to create your rum bum mold. She is available all day tomorrow. Would you be interested in participating in the bum match contest? Ciao. But you say you sent this to everybody. This is personalized now. I'm gonna need Shamil. We know you got a little line problem. We already know. You say Ashley and George are thirsty, very thirsty. But I do believe they're getting ready to come on the show. I just got this hunch punch, that they may be coming on the show. Cynthia said, clearly under the circumstances, her response meets the situation. She's pretty much saying that Portia has a right to say what she said because of what Shamir, you went down there and called this girl that said all this stuff about this girl's mama, and then you want to invite her to your party. Girl, that's not gonna work. So I agree with Cynthia. I noticed when I watched the episode again, when Shamia went to her lawyers about the rum in episode 4, Ashley was there in the office. Yes, she was. Was she sitting on the side of her? So I was wondering, George is an attorney. I just thought about that. So apparently George works out of the same office that Maximilian works out of. That makes a lot of sense. And the wife was probably an assistant that he turned into a wife. Which again, now it all makes sense. Drew said, she said that was a whole new low. It just keeps going deeper and deeper. Drew said they don't want to be a part of that and that they don't want to see it go deeper. Kelly speaks up and says that everybody was crickets when your best friend from Chi-Town, speaking of Angela, and then the cameras pan to Angela getting out of a Land Rover. She said when Angela said Shamia was sleeping with Ashley's husband. And they all look at Ashley, and Kay said, "Oh, you're the one." And the camera is following Angela in the door. She's greeted by George on her way in. Remember, George is Angela's next door neighbor. So they pan and she's walking through, and George says, "Uh-oh, the police." Back with the ladies, Ashley says that Angela called her and asked her if she and Shamia was cool and that she needed some tea on her. Kay said, "Did Angela ask you that?" Ashley said, "Uh-huh." Angela walks up just in time, and Angela says in her training day, Denzel Washington voice, "I'm putting cases on all you bitches." Shamia explains to Angela what they're talking about. She says that they were talking to Ashley, her friend. That's what exactly like Shamia said. We're talking to Ashley, my friend, about why she left. Like you were doing your own investigation about how it wasn't cool to have stuff like that thrown out there that wasn't true. And Ashley said when Angela called and asked about tea on Shamia, she just didn't have the tea. But Angela also used her husband's name in something else that wasn't true. Angela says, "So you're saying that I asked for tea on Shamia?" Angela said she asked her if she knew Shamia. Ashley said for her, that is tea. Girl, what? Girl, what? Because she asked you if you knew Shamia that was tea. Girl, let's go. Angela said, "Well, let's take this back. Now she said that you said that I said that she was sleeping with your husband." Angela said, "I didn't say that." Angela then said, "If Shamia told you that I said that, then Shamia is lying." Pinky said, "This is a big game of telephone, and she too drunk to figure it out." Child, I had to watch it a couple of times to figure out that she said that I said that you said. Girl, a big miss. But what I take it as, Angela was saying that if, let me make sure I got this right. She said that now you said that she was sleeping with your husband, and just said I didn't say that, and just said if Shamia told you that I said that, and Shamia's lying. Again, there we go. The game of basketball. I'm sorry. So Angel said, "Well, let's take this back." Now she said that you said, she's pointing at Ashley, that I said. Now we're pointing back at Angela, that Shamia, was sleeping with your husband. And she said that isn't what she said. Kelly then says to Angela, "That lies as short as those heels on the shoe." And Angela said, "It's as short as that lease on your house, because this," and she points at Shamia, "is your landlord." Kelly said, "You don't know nothing about my lease, Officer Oakley." Then Angela said, "You don't have a husband or a house." Kelly. Kelly said, your husband don't even want to wake up to you in the morning. And Angela said, he outside. He outside. And they show Angela getting out of that black car again and telling Charles, I'll probably be here 30 to 40 minutes, which lets me know that they made Angela come. Angela was not planning on coming to that party. They made Angela come. Deborah said she was behind the computer. But remember, her husband, George, is an attorney. So I guarantee you that's probably the office that George works out of. And that's probably how Shamia knows him. I'm just putting two and two together. I thought that Ashley meant George will deliver for DoorDash. She might have met him that way, but it looks like she's working in the in the attorney's office. Ashley lied. Definitely she lied. Somebody lied. George said she was delivering DoorDash in booty shorts. And he said he was in hot pursuit of a prostitute girl. That's funny to me. He was in hot pursuit of a prostitute. Baby, you should have left. If you thought that's what she was, you should have left her wherever she was. Anywho, Cynthia brings some calm because Ashley would like to speak. So Ashley says that the lie is that George and Shamia were having a sexual relationship. And Angela said, is that today or previous? But I want us to just think about something. They keep saying that Angela lied. I've seen people, oh, Angela's a liar, Angela's a liar, Angela's a liar. And Drew said herself, Angela's not known to be a liar. Deborah said, yes, I do believe she may work there now. Definitely she works there now. But I want y'all to listen to what Angela said because they're going to pan back to it on this episode. And y'all tell me if this is a lie or is this a question?
George's wife. You George's wife.
Girl, this your George.
One more time right here.
Girl, this your George. This your George.
Now, it's a question mark on the screen because, of course, I got subtitles on when I be keeping notes. But one more time.
Girl, this your George.
Last time I was in school, now maybe, the rules change every day. I ain't been in school in a minute. But anything with a question mark normally is a question that precedes it. But y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I thought that was a question. So I don't know how questions, because if I ask you a question and you respond, then the person that responds is normally the one that's the one lying, not the one asking the question. But Chad, let me move on and mind my business. Anyway, Ashley said ever that when Angela asked, was this today or previous? And Ashley said ever. Angela then says, respectfully, honey, his name precedes you. What he has done in the streets precedes you. So anything I brought up precedes you. So she said, so I'm not trying to disrespect you. Shamia said, George is here. You can ask him for yourself. Angela said, I said, you have a past and everyone has a past. While George is walking up, I said, this is so dumb. Shamia tells George that Angela said they have an extra relationship. And Angela says that George said when he met Shamia, he had to pay her. Angela said, do you remember that? Do you remember saying that, Georgie? George said he would never say anything like that. And Angela said, but you said that at your event. He then retracts what he says. It says, oh. Angela then says, even if he said it, he didn't say it in a way where she got to give him some ussy to get some money. Child, that's not what he meant, is what Ashley said. Now Ashley answered all the questions for her drunk husband, allegedly. Anyway, George finally speaks up and says he did say it a joke at his event, but he was lit. Angela says, so you don't even know what you said. Angela says, this makes sense. Angela wasn't lying because you could have said it jokingly. Drew said Angela's vindicated. Then Kay in her confessional said delusions on delusions on delusions. Kay tells Ashley, please tell everyone that your husband didn't go into anybody's hot pocket. And Ashley repeats that, honey. Angela in her confessional said that at George's event, he was on the mic and said she looked so good, I had to pay her. Shamia in her confessional says that's not what George said. He said Shamia is about her money. You got to pay her. Now I listened to the audio because the wife dropped the audio as though it was going to vindicate her husband. And what the audio said was he met Shamia at a place called, what was the place? Now I forgot the name of it. He met her at this place. And when I asked someone in Atlanta what that place was, they told me it was a strip club. And he said he met her at this place. So let's say that is a strip club. And he said, I had to pay her. Those were his exact words. So Angela wasn't lying. Cheetah, that was the name of it. He said, I met her at the Cheetah. And I asked, what is a Cheetah? It's a strip club. The Cheetah is, in fact, let me Google the Cheetah in Atlanta, Georgia. The Cheetah Atlanta. It's a lounge, honey. It's a gentleman's club. Let me share it with us just so y'all can see what the Cheetah is. And he said this is where he met Shamia at the Cheetah Lounge. The Cheetah Beater, honey. The Cheetah is a gentleman's club. The Southeast's most renowned adult entertainment club. The Cheetah Lounge Atlanta since 1977. So y'all saw it in real time. Y'all saw it in real time. Yeah, it was a question. So I don't know how people get from a question to a lie without having a response. You said George is crass, and so is Shamia. Just saying, I'm with you. I am with you. I am with you. Been around forever. Yes, Queen Script. It has. 1977. Oh yeah, it's a staple. It's a staple. You said they just hate Angela. They do, and that's okay. You can dislike Angela, but you can still be honest in your spare time. Just learn a little honesty. Some of y'all lie, and that's why y'all so quick to call other people a lie. She didn't actually lie. She actually told the truth. Even when she sat down with Portia, she said, "Well, who said that Shamia slept with George?" And Angela said, "I did. I said that. All he said was that he had to pay her. I'm the one that said that." And she said, "I asked her. Shamia, in fact, let's play it one more time. This is what she asked her."
George.
Did you?
Girl, this George.
That's what Angela asked her. So if you respond and said no, then that should have been it. But instead, y'all, oh, she's lying. She asked you a question, baby. Shamia said, he told her Shamia's about her money and you got to pay her. But that's not what he said, because I listened to him. He said he meant her at the Cheetah, honey, and he had to pay her. That's what he said. Shamia said she used to do team bonding events for Georgia's attorney's office. That is it. Peek said in her confession that George looks like he pays for the hot pocket. K. Michelle said after seeing George and then seeing his wife, this is about money. Ain't no way little pudgy, bald-headed man, honey, because you love him. It's not that much love in America. Phaedra said, can we agree that this has been tabled? Angela said every time they table something and every time they try to rebuild it, she gets ambushed. Shamia then says she would love for them to get to a respectful place. Shamia then said, but just now, she just said she would like to accept the apology, but she is just going to stab me in the back, is what she said. Pretty much, Angela said that, she could accept Shamia's apology, but Shamia just going to turn around and stab her in the back. Shamia said she isn't calling, asking about tea on any of the ladies. And Shamia said she don't need to call around. Angela said she didn't call around. She walked out her door. So I didn't go far. I just walked next door. Anyway, they do a match the bum. Yeah, something dumb. And then Drew has a man that brings her horse. I thought all of that was stupid. I didn't include any of those in my notes because I don't find any of that amusing. For as far as the show went, I thought this was a good episode. Couple of things that stood out to me when it comes down to this episode was one thing in particular, a couple of things in particular, but this one really stood out for me, and I'm gonna say it to you. I want you guys to hear it. when K Michelle was sitting down talking to Shamia, she said to her, and I'm gonna repeat what K Michelle said. She said she wanted to see Shamia smile. That was the one thing she wanted. She said Shamia has other people who really love her. And then Kay said she didn't want Shamia's failed friendships to become what she is. And then back at the table, Shamia says when it comes to Portia and Scotland, Kay Michelle tells Shamia, I'm sorry, when it comes to Portia in Scotland, she said, you came out of nowhere. This is what stuck out to me in this whole episode. You came out of nowhere and you came really low, really fast. We are at a dinner table and you bring up this lady's child. And Shamia responded with that, should I have posted it to social media? And Kay Michelle said, you say this woman's child, and Shamia interrupts her again, but Kay Michelle stayed on task. She said, did I bring her up in a negative way? Kay Michelle continued to talk, and she said, you basically said that this father has been sneaking the child to you and your husband. And Shamia, once that clicked in her head, she goes, no. Because can you imagine how you would feel if it was you? Friend, what made you bring all that up? Because it came out of nowhere in this group setting. And I don't know if any of that dawned on Shamia, but I think it was worth the conversation. It came out of nowhere. Literally came out of nowhere. Ryan said for me, baby, I don't know what you're talking about. Shamia keeps showing folks text messages. Definitely. But this isn't new. Symmetry, can you inbox me that text message, that one that we looked at yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday? I forgot. I tried to find it and I could not find it. If you'll inbox me, I'll grab it real fast. But if we go back in seasons past, like way seasons past, when Sheree was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Shamia was doing it. Shamia has been stabbed. The one with Sheree, one that we shared. You shared it, I believe, with Sheree. Malicious says, if Drew hopped on that horse and galloped away, that would have really set off. It would have been worth talking about, you know that? But she didn't. I really would have loved to see her get on that horse and gallop away. But she just standing out there looking, is this for me? And then we see next episode, Shamia's going to tell us that the horse pooped in her yard on her property, child. Just a mess. Just a mess. Okay, thank you, Symmetry. Yes. She shows Sheree personal text messages to exactly Brown Girls Rocks. It's like, just like Portia said, she's an habitual text message shower. She just is. But that stood out to me because Kay Michelle, she said it. She said it came out of nowhere. This came out of nowhere. So that lets me know that there wasn't any, I don't care if you want to talk about text messages. Shamia has an issue with being accountable for the crap that she says and that she does. You were wrong. You were wrong. You were wrong to talk about Pilar. You were wrong. You got 2 daughters. What if somebody was sneaking what if someone was sneaking your youngest child out? The one who has health issues, and they were sneaking her over somewhere that she didn't have any business being without your permission. That would be so unfair to you as a mom. So unfair. But you're gloating to Cynthia about Dennis sneaking out a kid so you can be with her. Deborah said she showed Britt Portia's text messages last season. Oh, yeah, definitely. But she been showing text messages. That's what I'm talking about. This ain't nothing new. She been showing text messages. None of this is new for her. Let's go. Thank you, Symmetry. I'm gonna show y'all this. This is an older episode. I don't know what season it is. I will look it up because I'm gonna come back tonight because we're gonna talk about the ladies' looks, and we're gonna talk about Kelly down there with Carlos. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna dissect that sucker tonight. So we're gonna do Lady RHOA After Dark tonight for sure, for sure, for sure. Here we go. Let's play.
That I have not been instrumental in trying to help you deal with.
This is how old this is because KKK Kimberly is on here. Okay, so this is how old it is.
These girls make up with these girls. Wait, hold on. What? Or have I done something to you to say not to trust Sheree? No, what are you talking about?
So when you left Barcelona, I had a conversation with Sheree, and I told her how you don't feel that you can trust anybody in this circle. You said, even me?
First of all, how did Sheree see a private text message that I sent to you, Shamia? Like,
she been showing text messages. She been showing text. How can you trust someone who is constantly throwing you under the bus, but she calls you her best friend? Let me tell you something. When I said that Portia and Shamia was two peas in a pod, I meant exactly what I said. So when Portia was down there talking her smack with Phaedra on the couch, and they was talking about Shamia was supposed to be in with Todd and Candy. Guess what? Shamia had been throwing Portia up under the bus. In fact, it's that episode where Shamia is in the middle of Portia and Phaedra talking, and the next scene, she's over there the next day at Candy's office talking to Candy, Karma, and Don Juan about Portia and about what Portia and Phaedra has said. Shamia has been no one's friend. She's not innocent, and baby, all this victim playing she's doing is ridiculous. Ridiculous. She's been showing text messages. She's not anyone's friend. Showing personal text messages is a violation that tends to start mess. It definitely does, Brown Girls Rocks. And I believe that's what the whole intent was with Shamia, is to start some mess. I don't know if she's trying to self-produce, overproduce, but she's failing badly. Failing badly. Symmetry said that she believed it's season 10. So that was 7 years ago. Shamia's been doing this bull swanky panky. Remember, Shamia said herself on her interview with Carlos that she only got close to Portia after the divorce Portia had with Cardell, right? So that means, I'm going to say it, and I ain't going to take it back, in the words of Dr. Heavenly. Shamia is an opportunist. She's an opportunist. She used Candy to get the opportunity to get on Big Tigger's show. She used Portia for an opportunity to get on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's an opportunist. Period. Point blank. And ain't gonna take none of that back. She's an opportunist. Definitely one. Definitely one. You said Samir was trying to turn them against Portia back then too. Yes, ma'am. She was. Because she wants that spot. Portia's a fan favorite. She wants that spot. And for what? Girl, you got a husband that they say is worth $100 million, but the fame, that fame is a hell of a drug, baby. Give me that fame. Give me that fame. Give me some of that fame. You remember that video of Chappelle walk around scratching his chin with the white stuff on his nose? Got a little bit, got some more of that. That's Shamir. You got some more of that fame. Got some more of that fame. Because she's addicted to the fame. Addicted to it. You said, and that is in the T. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it, Brown Girls Rocks. That's it. She's an opportunist. She's used every opportunity she could to ride on the backs of these women. And then she has turned on them. The only person that we ain't seen her turn on is Candy. That's the only person that's okay. I figured it. You say you shopping. I figured that. That's the only person we have not seen her really turn on is Candy. But I'm sure she had an opportunity. She talk about her too. Baby, look, because she feels like she's that girl. Remember when she came on this season, last season, when she came on, she said she was the glue that kept everybody together. That's what she said. That's what she said. That she was the glue. Well, your glue is not tacky enough to hold the group together, honey. And that's what Portia's second season. Yeah. She latched on to Portia because she saw Portia on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're gonna come back later on tonight for Late night with Lady RHOA. I promise you, I got some stuff lined up. I needed to. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. Work has been had me snowed under. I don't even want to give you any excuses, but taking notes for the episodes, I like to bring you details in every words. I don't want to just have but do it right. I want to make sure I bring to you a decent review of the episode, and that I have the correct wording. I don't want to just get up here and speak on what someone said. So I do take my time to do it. So it takes a few hours to take these notes and really be efficient with it, just because I want to make sure I bring you the correct information. So I wanted to do this live at 12 because I was supposed to have been doing these notes the other day, and child, I let these folks talk me into booking a cruise, and they think they're going to occupy the rest of my time trying to figure out how to get on a cruise. There's a lie. Ain't going to happen. Anyway, if no one told you today they love you, I love you. And I'm going to see y'all back down here later on tonight. And we're going to talk about the reunion looks. We're going to look. In fact, let's look at, before I go, let me see if I can pull. Do I have it pulled up? The reunion trailer. I think I have the reunion trailer pull up. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Let's watch it. Let's watch the reunion trailer, in case you haven't seen it already. I'm going to show it real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here. Let's go.
Atlanta reunion.
And I can be going.
Are we going naked?
We gonna be naked.
Now, Portia's a lot of fun, and that's the reason why she's a fan favorite. Portia, and none of that, she could dance her butt off. Portia be dancing. Baby, she be dancing. Let's go.
Drop it.
Now, what else is going on? Did I miss a lot?
Okay, Michelle.
Andy said that this reunion actually reminded him of reunions in the past. So, child, this must have been a good one.
Was a gay man. Drew's divorced. Phaedra and Portia both dated Mike. What is your arrangement?
I'm not gonna let some strokes throw away what I have built.
Not some strokes, baby. Yeah.
How is Sway?
I'm so in love right now. Like,
Just when I
That's so cute. I like Sway and Portia together. I hope that this is real for them.
thought the flag had flown. There is a discourse online you're not accepting of Tamari's lifestyle. So could you speak to that?
And I'm glad they're going to give Angela an opportunity to talk about her daughter's lifestyle, and if she's accepted, because I've heard a lot of people have some comments about it.
Can you explain what the plot and the plan were?
It wasn't this.
I know who it is.
Drew, what was your reaction to that
Look at Pinky's face. It's all full and fat for a pregnant girl.
news about Black?
It's devastating because he is such a good guy.
That's why I didn't want a part of it.
This the rich PayPal man. And I've
understand
never
what you're
heard of
saying.
a man being rich on PayPal.
Cut!
Oh,
Cut it
Drew done brought her a prop.
down.
You so invested on what's going on in my panties, girl.
I just got served with a cease and desist.
Speak up or pay up.
Cease and desist means shut up.
But that Angela knows she be reading. That Angela is a readologist.
Pinky has never apologized to me.
Yeah, and I'm not going to. You judging me because I was drunk. I didn't judge you because you got a whole nother face and a whole nother body.
What's Pinky's issue with Phaedra? We're going to find out.
First of all, I got the same face and same body, girl.
You co-signed for the same person that got you fired on the show the last time.
do you
Fired. Was Phaedra fired? Phaedra was never fired. And there's proof to that. But go ahead.
want to name the pastor?
I'm not naming him. Are we talking about? Oh,
Oh, so she gonna name her own pastor. All right, girl.
you want to name people? Are we talking about?
Go ahead and name the
Are
married
we talking
man.
about? Because I'm exhausted with these lies.
Where do you two go from here?
To hell.
That means somebody got to go off the show.
Oh, God.
All right.
Let's not go there. It's hot.
Cynthia, at what point did you decide you didn't like Shamia?
Oh, Lord.
So does Cynthia not like Shamia? What's up with that? That's different.
I have lived. I have lived.
You have lived
a life. And so has your body. Okay.
Ooh. That was low. Let's go.
You need to close your glory hole.
Glory hole. She talking about that mouth. What that mouth do? Tell us.
The issue is you're being everybody's golden retriever, and I've had
you
enough
have
of it.
new teeth and nowhere to sleep.
You got new teeth and nowhere to sleep, honey.
Broke bed.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Oh, I can't rewind. Dang it.
Damn.
shut up.
You really trying to use this lady to come at me?
She's lying.
Either way, my mama don't be dancing in no hookah lounge. You're talking about hallelujah and calling her Jezebel.
Wait a minute. Did Kay just say that Sarah was in the hookah lounge dancing and calling Portia a Jezebel? Is that what Kay just said? Look at everybody's mouth open. I told y'all Sarah was the reason why Shamia sat at that table and went off on Portia because Sarah put a better in that whole bag. I told y'all that.
Who is Jezebel? Who is Jezebel? Keep my mother and keep my mama and my name.
Shamia got to go.
Shut your motherfucking mouth.
All right. Okay.
Now Phaedra got the prop, baby. I believe the reunion gonna be one for the books. What y'all think? Y'all think it's gonna be one for the books? It's gonna be one for the books. I'm telling you right now. I told y'all. Now we ain't seen the episode yet, but I told y'all that when Shamia called her mama, that her mother put them batteries in her back to go down there and talk about Miss Diane. I told y'all that. Baby, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing worse than them old church girls, them old mothers that got a little jealousy stuck in their butts. Because here's one thing I know about a church mother growing up in a church. Them hoes don't forget nothing. They don't forget nothing. They're going to remind you of it. They're going to talk about it every chance they get. And I don't care how many times you ask the Lord to forgive you. They're going to remind you of what you didn't do, child. You said Shamia been a menace. Baby, come on, Queen Script. Yes, she has. I enjoyed the season. Me too. It's great. We got one more episode, and then we got the reunion. You said reunion, me ready. Me too, living for me. You said, Phaedra, you had some stuff sucked out too. Definitely. She definitely has some. She had that waist pulled in after that baby. I believe her last baby. I want to say she had a mommy makeover. If we could think back, I believe she did. And I think she's had a little up in the face a little bit too. You said Kelly needs to stop talking, period. Yes, ma'am, Miss Deborah. Yes, she does. Anyway, you guys, meet me back down here later on tonight. I will set up a thumbnail and arrange the video. If no one told you today that they love you, I love you, and there's a thing you can do about it. Child, my phone is ringing, so that means one of these children want me to do something for them. Woo, let me take a good breath and woo off. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the queendom. Until next time, keep nurturing, keep cultivating, and keep awakening the queen within. God bless you. We'll see you next time.